today we will be making tiny salty chocolatey cookies. I first made these about a year ago and then I kind of forgot about them, but then I made them just a few days ago and they were really yummy, so I decided to make a video about them. First, you're going to take 6 tablespoons of butter and you're going to put it in a little saucepan. And now you're going to melt this over about medium heat until it starts to get brown. And if you need more detailed instructions about how to make the brown butter, you can click on the video, which I should leave a link to up here somewhere, and you can click the little icon. But just a brief overview is you're going to stir it until it melts, and then when it melts you're going to keep stirring, and then it'll get foamy and bubbly, and then it'll start to get brown, and that's when it'll be done. Once your butter is starting to brown, you're just going to turn off the heat and you're going to just set this here while you do your other steps, and you won't need this right now. Now you're going to preheat your oven to 350. Now you're going to take a bowl and you're going to put in 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, 3/4 cups of cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now you're going to whisk that all together until it's all combined and you don't have any lumps left. Now you're going to switch to a spatula and you're going to add in 1 egg, 2 egg whites, which if you need help separating them, you can look at the video, which will also be linked somewhere up here, and the butter that you browned earlier. And then you're just going to mix that all together until it's all combined. Once it's all combined, you should feel it just to make sure that it's not hot anymore, since if it is, then it'll melt your chocolate. Now you're going to add in about 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate, and since this is already very sweet, I like to use 70% bittersweet chocolate rather than 60%. And then you're just going to mix that all in as well. Now you're going to take a baking sheet and a sheet of parchment paper. Now you're going to use either a cookie scoop or a spoon. You probably don't want to use your hands since this is pretty gooey dough or batter. It's kind of in between the two. So you want your dough batter to be pretty runny for dough or pretty thick for batter. So if I take my spatula and go up, it should then come back down pretty slowly, but still come back down. So you want to space these pretty far apart because they spread a lot and get very flat. And there's a good chance that you're going to need a second baking sheet. Once you're done with your rolling out of your cookies, you're going to take some flaky salt and you're just going to sprinkle a little tiny bit on each one of your cookies. This is why they are called tiny salty chocolatey cookies rather than just tiny chocolatey cookies. Now you're going to put these in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes, and you just want to do it until they look done, and they should look a little bit wrinkled. I will be back when the first tray comes out. Okay, so my first tray of cookies is done, so I'm just going to take these out and let them cool. And I'm going to put my next tray in, and I will be back when these are both cool to eat one. So I will see you then. Once your cookies have cooled enough for you to eat them, you should eat them. I found that they're actually easiest to eat the second day if you just cover them and let them cool on these pieces of parchment paper overnight, because they are really soft and they are hard to get off. But if you do decide to eat them the first day, you can either let them cool a bit more or just grab a little spatula and take it. So mine are still a little bit too warm, but they're still going to taste good, which is the point. These are really good and you should definitely make them. And shh, I wasn't here. Tiny melty chocolate cookie time. Someone already made them.